Spring is finally here, and today's video is packed full of all the spring flavors. Hey y'all, I'm Sammy, and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'm showing you 5 flavor-packed meals that are sure to please everyone. Now let's get to cooking, y'all. So you will definitely want to fire up your grill for this honey lime cilantro marinated grilled chicken and rice bowls. I know it's a lot, but it's delicious. So I put this chicken in this marinade the night before, and it's got 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of honey, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, juice from 2 limes, a half a cup of cilantro, 2 garlic cloves, a teaspoon of salt, cumin, and 4 boneless chicken breast that I just kind of put down into tenders. Now once you have that marinated, at least for about 12 hours, so that's why I just do it overnight. If you need it quicker, at least an hour. Now we're going to make the salsa that goes with it. So I've got 1 can of drained black beans, 1 bag of corn, and I did heat it up a little bit, but not very much. Now you can chop up fresh tomatoes if you have any. I didn't have any on hand, so I'm using what I did, which were the petite diced tomatoes, and I just drained those and rinsed them. Next, we're going to add in half of this purple onion. Now, I call them purple onions. Y'all might call them red, but that's a purple onion. So I just diced up half of that one since it was a rather large one, just to about the same size as everything else. Now, I went and got some fresh cilantro because it is I can't wait for my garden to come back so I can have my fresh herbs again. But I got this from the store and it works just as fine. So I just took some leaves and I bundled them up, and now I'm just chopping it up pretty finely. That way everything will blend well together in this bowl. So we're just going to dump that in there. It's probably about 1/4 of a cup of cilantro that went in here. Now once I have all of that, we're going to start adding in everything else. So it's going to have the 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And now this makes a lot, and you'll see that I'll use it in other suppers as well. And then about 2 tablespoons of garlic or jarlic, whatever you want to call it. We're going to add just a touch of salt to this, and we're going to also add about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 to 3 tablespoons, and the same for the lime juice. I think I did about 2 tablespoons each. And then we'll just give this a big old toss together. Now this is just so good. You have all those fresh flavors, and like I said, you could add the fresh tomatoes if you wanted to, but I didn't have any on hand. And make sure you throw some corn out because it's not going to taste the same if you don't. Now this just puts a lid on it, and it sits in your refrigerator and lets all those flavors combine while you get the ranch dressing together and while you grill your chicken, of course. So let's go ahead and get this salsa verde ranch put together. Now I like to mix mine in a measuring cup, but if you want to put it in a bowl or whatever, that's fine too. So into a large measuring cup, I think this is my 4-cup measuring cup, I'm going to start out with a cup of the whole buttermilk. Then we're going to do a cup of mayonnaise, and I love me some Duke's mayonnaise, and it's also sugar free if y'all didn't know that. So that goes in there, and me personally, I like to mix these two together before I start putting everything else in there. You don't have to, but I think it just makes the blending process better. 1 package of the dry ranch seasoning mix, and then I like to go ahead and mix that up too. That way I know that powder gets very well distributed and there ain't going to be no clumps anywhere. Once that's mixed, you're going to add in a tablespoon of lime juice. Then we're going to add in about a tablespoon of garlic. Stir that together, and then here's where the salsa verde part comes in. Don't forget to add 2 tablespoons of cilantro too. So I had some chopped up from the last time. Then we're going to add in about 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of the green salsa verde. Now I tried to find just the little bitty cans of the salsa verde instead of I had to buy the big jar of it, but it's okay because you could always marinate chicken in it or use it for taco night or anything like that. So we just went ahead and put that all in there, and then I'm just going to put it in a big mason jar, put that lid on it, and let it get happy. And like I said, it's going to sit right alongside of that veggie salsa, and we're going to go ahead and get our cilantro lime rice ready. So I've got 4 cups of water right here. We're going to add in a little bit of salt to this, probably about 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of lime juice on here. And like I said, all the recipes are going to be in the description box below. And then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh chopped cilantro goes in that water as well. Now we're going to go ahead and add in 2 cups of the basmati rice, and I love this stuff. It is so good. It's quickly becoming my favorite kind of rice. Now we're going to go ahead and give this a stir and then turn that down to a simmer once it gets to the boil right here, and pop a lid on it, and we're just going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes. And then your rice is going to be nice and fluffy. So while that's cooking, it is time to grill the chicken. Oh, y'all, I cannot tell y'all the smell of this. The brown sugar and the lime and the honey, it's just so good. And the thing about cooking it this way is it don't take very long to cook because the marinade's all through that chicken, so it's going to stay nice and tender. And there's just nothing better than some grilled food in the spring and summertime. Actually, for me, it'd be any time of the year. I just absolutely love grilled food. But y'all, this one was so good. I've been craving this, and we finally got to have it. So that chicken cooks up really, really quick, about 16 minutes or so, and you'll have you some nice grilled chicken. And as you can see, that rice is nice and fluffy, and we are going to go ahead and get this served on up. But just look at this juicy chicken right here, y'all. It is so packed full of flavor. You cannot go wrong with this. And here it is all plated up. I just put some rice on the plate, laid my chicken over top, put that veggie salsa down beside of it, and then drizzled some of that ranch right over top of the chicken and the rice right there. Y'all, this one is so good. It has got all kinds of flavor. It is definitely a mouth in your party. Like I said, I'll have everything as far as all the ingredients you'll need and the recipe step by step linked down below. Next up is some sweet chili shrimp tacos. We're going to start out by making this sauce first. So I've got about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil going in a medium-sized bowl. We've got 1 teaspoon of chili powder going in here, along with 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Next, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now, I don't know if you could use normal paprika, but I'm sure you could. And then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then about a half a teaspoon of salt. And about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of pepper. Y'all already know I season with my heart, so it's hard for me to measure, but that's why I always put the clickable links to the recipes in my description box. So you'll just stir all that together into a large pan. I'm going to go ahead and put my shrimp in there and let this cook on down with that little sauce marinade that I just put in here with all them spices and olive oil. We're just going to give this a quick toss together just to make sure all them shrimp are coated. And you'll see here in just a second, I'm going to show you the difference between one that is already cooked in here that has been on the bottom of the pan versus one that's not quite done yet. And you'll see the difference. This is the one that's not quite cooked versus one that has already been cooked in here. So once they all turn into, little C-shaped shrimp, you'll know that it is all ready to be put together. So here's the leftover of that salsa from the night before, and it works perfectly with these shrimp tacos. And then I also have that salsa verde ranch right there. We've got some more cilantro that's been chopped up, and you can serve it with an avocado. I opted not to this night, but you also got to use some sweet chili sauce. Be careful though, because this does have a little bit of a temperature, but that's why I put some fresh mango on mine too, to kind of give it the sweetness. And then you got to have some queso fresco cheese or some cotija cheese. I know I'm not saying that right, but I'm just going to put these on little street tacos. And this is going to be supper tonight, and it was absolutely delicious. And plus, you're not wasting anything. So I've got about 2 of these little street taco tortillas down here. I'm going to put a good old helping of the shrimp down. Then we are going to come in with the salsa right over the top of it. And then you still get all those fresh flavors. Now I'm going to take some of this mango, and I just chopped it off and took it right off the skin. Put that right on top of everything right here. put me some queso fresco cheese on top of it, and then we're going to come in with a little bit of the sweet chili sauce as well, and then with a drizzle of that ranch, the salsa verde ranch. Y'all, talking about a flavor explosion, this is another one that'll do it for you. And you can't tell me that this don't have the taste of spring and all the spring flavors to welcome in a brand new season. If y'all give this one a try, let me know down below, or let me know if you have already tried a shrimp taco, because this one was amazing. Now let's get ready to make some sheet pan Hawaiian chicken. This one was so good. So I've got 2 pounds of chicken right here. I got 2 sweet red peppers. I got a purple onion and some fresh garlic. Now we're going to go ahead and chop all these up into equal bite-sized pieces, just to get all the prep out of the way. As you can see right here, I did find some broccoli in the freezer, so I just chopped that up to match with it. And now I know why I buy the garlic, because y'all, it takes a while to chop up some minced garlic now. So into a bowl, we're going to go ahead and make the Hawaiian sauce for it. And since I'm doubling this recipe, I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of soy sauce, but I'll have the original link down below. So that goes into the bowl along with a 1/4 cup of honey. But like I said, I'm doubling it, so I'm using a 1/2 cup. And honey's tricky to come out of that bottle. But I finally managed to get it all out of there. I had to fight with it for a little bit. So I just dumped that right on into the bowl. And then we're going to add in about 4 tablespoons of olive oil right here. I think you could probably use vegetable oil if you didn't have olive oil, but I usually try to keep some on hand. And then we're going to add in 4 cloves of minced fresh garlic to the mixture. Now we're going to come in with some ground ginger. I keep this in the fridge. This is the handiest thing ever. So I use 2 teaspoons of the fresh ginger as well. We're going to come in with just a touch of salt, maybe a pinch of salt, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. That's really just to taste. And then we'll just give this a good old mix to make sure that that honey is well combined with everything else. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this pineapple juice, because it's not in the recipe, but y'all know I got to Sammify it. And we're going to put just about maybe a tablespoon of that pineapple juice in there. Now we'll take that, mix it together, and then set it aside. Now into a large bowl, we're going to take our 2 pounds of diced up chicken, and we're going to add the pineapple chunks that have been drained right to the mix. We'll give that a mix together just to make sure that the pineapple flavor gets all over the chicken. And I found some sliced water chestnuts in my pantry, so I just went ahead and drained those and put them right into the mix too. I was like, it can't hurt, and I love water chestnuts, so why not, right? Now onto a very large sheet pan. I did not spray it because the olive oil and stuff that's in that marinade's gonna coat the pan, so I'm not worried about that. Now I'll just spread this chicken out as much as I can to get ready to put the vegetables over top. And I'm just going to go ahead and spread them out as evenly as I can. And look at this, it looks like you're eating the rainbow right here, which is what you're supposed to do to get, all your vitamins and stuff. Now we're just going to go ahead and pour this delicious glaze right over the top of everything, just to make sure everything is nice and coated. I do go ahead and mix it together too a little bit, just to make sure that the chicken and all the veggies are coated, and that way nothing sticks and everything gets all that flavor all over it, so it can be happy in the oven cooking. Now this goes into a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes, just so the chicken's done and the vegetables are nice and tender once you pull it out. And y'all, this is so full of flavor. This was after the time was up. I'm just going to go ahead and stir everything up into that broth again, just to make sure everything is well combined and you get all that flavor. Now I just served this over some jasmine rice. As y'all know, it's my favorite. Make sure you get some of that pineapple in there with it. And I just served it up with a little bit of teriyaki sauce over the top and some fresh chopped green onions. This was absolutely amazing. It's definitely going to be a repeat in my house because it is delicious and it's so easy to put together. The hardest part was just chopping up everything. But y'all, I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed if you make this one. So good. Now, let's make some garlic butter shrimp scampi. Y'all, we love shrimp in this house. We are a seafood eating house, but I understand if you ain't. But you could always do this with like chicken or anything like that. It would be just as good. So into a large skillet, I got 2 tablespoons of olive oil and about 4 tablespoons of butter to start out with. We do have 2 other tablespoons that we're going to put in later, but y'all will see that in a minute. And then I got 5 cloves of garlic that I have chopped up there. And I'm just going to let this cook in that butter and olive oil until it is fragrant. It only takes a couple minutes because you don't want to burn that garlic. Once everything is combined, you will take 2 pounds of small sized shrimp, and I put that right on in there. We're going to season that up with about a tablespoon of the Kinder's buttery garlic and herb, and about a teaspoon of fresh black pepper and a half a teaspoon of salt. You'll give everything a toss together in that garlic butter. Y'all, this one was so good. Now when the shrimp are no longer translucent and they have all made the little C shapes, they are done. Then we'll take a 1/4 cup of chicken broth, put that on in there along with 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and about a 1/4 cup of parsley. It doesn't take too much, but you want to make sure you get it in there because it does help with the flavor. Then you will stir all of that together just until the shrimp are infused with that garlic butter. You'll take that shrimp out because you don't want to overcook it. Add in your other 2 tablespoons of butter and then let that sauce reduce down by half. And as you can see right here, it has thickened up quite a bit. And this is exactly what you want. So then you add your shrimp back in and then you give them a toss in that nice sauce. Now while you were cooking that shrimp, you needed to boil 16 ounces of spaghetti noodles. I love to use angel hair pasta, and this is cooked down. So we're going to add that right to the pot. And we will give everything a toss together. So I just went and got me some little tongs out of my little canister, and I just start pulling that sauce up through them noodles, and just to make sure everything is thoroughly coated. And this was supper this night, and I cannot even begin to tell you how light but delicious this dish was. I love me some shrimp scampi. There's just something about it, y'all. It's just so good. Now I just served it up with some freshly grated Parmesan and some more parsley right on top, and we didn't have no bread with this. Trust me, it would be an addition to it, but it really don't need it. This one can fly on its own. It is so good. Would you just look at this deliciousness right here? It is a happiness in a bite, let me tell you. So good. Give this one a try, y'all. Now let's move right on into some lemon chicken orzo. Y'all, this one was amazing. I love me some orzo pasta, and it's very underrated. So into a large skillet, I got about a tablespoon of olive oil with about a half of teaspoon of some salted butter. And then I took my 4 chicken breasts. What I did is just butterfly them. So I'm going to cook 2 pieces at a time. Put those right into the skillet. We're going to season that up with some Italian seasoning over the top and some garlic powder with some black garlic. If y'all have never tried this Badia black garlic, see if y'all can find it because it is amazing. It makes everything so flavorful. Now you will cook this butterfly chicken about 6 minutes on each side just to make sure, because it's chicken breast, it's not going to take as long to cook. But it's usually about 6 to 8 minutes per side. And then when you get some good color on the one side, you will flip it on over and let that other side cook on down as well. Now, once you have all your chicken cooked, like you see right here, does that not look just beautiful? You will take it out of that skillet, and you're going to use the same skillet, and you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we're going to take a medium onion, which we have diced up, and add that on into the pan. And we're going to let these onions cook on down or sweat down until they are translucent and you can see through them. Like you can see right here, they have absorbed all that yumminess off the pan. And now we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of garlic to the mix. Y'all know I love me some garlic, but if y'all don't, y'all can leave it out. We are vampires over here, and we got to have the garlic. No. So we're just stirring that all together, and then we're going to add in 1 to 2 teaspoons of this Italian seasoning. Lost my train of thought for a second. And then we're going to take the juice of 1 lemon and add that right into the mixture. So it'd be about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of lemon juice that I added in there. I changed the recipe just a touch because I wanted the lemon in there to get into the orzo pasta. So then we added in 1 cup of orzo pasta, and you'll mix that together to let that orzo cook for about 2 minutes. It does need to cook a little bit before you add the liquid to it. So that's about 2 minutes. And now we're going to add in 16 ounces of chicken broth. Now I'm using my home canned chicken bone broth. Goes right into the mixture. Give that a nice stir together. Bring it to a boil. Once you have this at a boil, you'll go ahead and turn that down to low to medium heat and let that come to a simmer. And just let it cook for about 12 minutes. It does not take orzo very long to cook it all. And once that 12 minutes was up, you can see pretty much all of that liquid is gone. And you'll give that a stir just to make sure nothing is stuck on the bottom of the pan. Now, once you have this all stirred up, we're going to take 6 ounces of baby spinach, which is typically about a bag of spinach, and we'll put that into the mix. I did kind of stir it for a little bit just to make sure that, it was going to be okay. And then I popped the lid on to let that spinach cook on down. That way it'd be easier to stir together, because as y'all can see right here, I'm struggling just a little bit. So this is when I just went ahead and popped that lid on for just maybe 3 minutes, if that, to let that steam work, and it worked like a charm, y'all. So now once you have all that spinach stirred in, this is where the creamy part comes in, because we are going to add in about a half a cup to a cup of heavy whipping cream. I did about 3/4 of a cup right here, and it seemed to work just fine. So you'll give that a nice stir together just to make sure that heavy whipping cream is very well combined with everything in this pot. Then we're going to add in 1/3 of a cup to a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Then you'll give that a nice stir to combine everything. Once you see that that cheese is very nice and melted in here, you're going to take the zest from that lemon that you juiced, and you'll add just a little bit in there because you want to save some to go on top for that pop of flavor when you eat it. But I just stirred that right on in, and then I popped the lid back on this and let this sit for about 5 to 6 minutes just to make sure all those flavors are combined and it comes together better. And honestly, this was amazing. I sliced that chicken up and served it right over top of the rice with some fresh grated Parmesan, some parsley, and the lemon zest. And y'all, this couldn't get any easier or more packed full of flavor than this right here. It was amazing, and it's definitely something y'all need to try. If you liked today's video, make sure you give me a big old thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and become part of my YouTube family. It is absolutely free, and I would love to have y'all. And as always, if you are in need of prayer, please let me know down below, and I would be honored to pray for you all. But from my heart to yours, God bless. Bye.